Hey guys, now it would be cool to make it possible to separate tasks based on the users. So to do this we need to make it possible for users to register, and then we will connect the tasks to the users. So you can begin by creating a new app for the user profile. So if you just go to the terminal and stop the web server, then I can say python manage.py start app user profile. Django comes built in with functionality for creating and logging in users, but I want something for just having the views and templates. So I'm going to use the app for this. And when that's done, we can go to the settings.py file and just register the app we just created, user profile, and save. So next step then will be to set up the view for registering a user. So go into user profile, views.py. And then here you can create a new function, def signup, pass in the request parameter. In here we want to check if the user has submitted the form or not. So if request.method equals post, and if so we can say form equals user creation form. This actually comes from Django. And then in here we just pass in the information that the user has filled in, request.post. I can check if this form is valid by saying if form.is valid, and if so we can save this by saying user equals form.save. And this form.save will actually return the user, so then we can have the user in a variable here. And we want to do that because then we can say login, request, and user, and then the user will be automatically logged in and authenticated. And when the user is authenticated, we can say return, redirect, and just pass in the front page. So now we will be redirected to the front page of our application. And if it's not a request, if it's not a post request, then we know that the user is just visiting this page. So we need to create an empty instance of this form like this. Then we can render by saying return, render, pass in the request parameter, and then the template user profile /signup.html. And now we need to pass in the form so that the template can actually use what we have created here. This will now crash because there are a few things we have not imported. For example, redirect, which is a shortcut from Django. Then we want to import the login function from django.contrib.auth import login, and this user creation form. So from django.contrib.auth.forms import user creation form and save. So most of this should hopefully look familiar for you based on what we have learned so far in this tutorial series. Next step then will be to create this template where we can render the form. So inside the user profile app, create a new folder called templates, and in there one more folder called user profile, and in that folder the file called signup.html. This should look very similar to other templates, so we can just copy everything here and paste it. And for the title we can say sign up, and same with the browser title, sign up. And then below here we render the form. Form method is post, action will be the page that we are on. Then we need to add the CSRF token, close the form, and then render it in here, form.sp, and then a button to submit this. So button class py4 px8 bg purple 800 text white and rounded xl to get some rounded corners on this button. Submit and close the button. So we are going to customize this form a little bit later in this series. Next step then, we just need to create a URLs file for this. So in the user profile app, one more file called urls.py. Now we need to import path from Django. So from django.urls import path. and we need to import the views file from the user profile from .import views, and then set up the URL patterns list. Patterns. And we're only going to have one for now, so path signup / and when this is matching we can say views.signup name sign up and save. And then we need to import this URLs file into the main URLs, just like we did with these two. So we can have this at the bottom here, path empty include user profile.urls. Actually, I would like to have this on top because this tasks URL will be the one that matches the front page where this can be empty. So for now we can just have it in this order. If I now go back to the browser, I need to run the server. Refresh, and if I now go to sign up, then I will be presented with the sign up form. Let's try to create a user. Submit, and then I was redirected to the front page. That means that this was actually working now, and we have now the possibility to create users. In the next part we're going to learn about how we can authenticate them by having a sign-up form. Sorry, a sign-in form, of course. So, see you in the next video.